Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Soy. So today I wanted to start working on a recipe. It's a copycat called Lechon con Frijoles from Las Grandes in Buffalo, New York. So the key item that you need is pork belly. So the best thing you get pork bellies from Asian store. So lots of time if you go to American grocery store, they won't easily find pork belly, or you find the pork belly has no skin on it. And these two have a skin on it. It's about 3 pounds. So the first thing you need to brine the pork belly overnight, and I let it thaw yesterday. And then the first thing you fill up with water, fill all the water to the top so it will be covered in the liquid. Just regular water. You don't need a hot water, you don't need a lukewarm water, because you're going to put it back to the refrigerator anyway. So just have enough tap water go all the way to the top of the pork belly, and that should be sufficient. The rest of the part is you need bay leaf, salt, sugar, clove, and all spices. So I will give half tablespoon of clove. I'll get a whole spoon of all spices, all spices. And then you need salt. Give 2 tablespoons of salt. And sugar. And bay leaf. And I will give 1, 2, 3, 4. Give a 6 bay leaf, and let it soak overnight. So let all the spices release to the water and then go into the pork belly. So see you tomorrow. Let it soak for 24 hours. So tomorrow afternoon, I will start cooking these. These pork belly is being brined for 2 days. You can brine it for at least minimum 24 hours. So the first thing, you take it out, remove all the seed, and preheat the oven for 300 degrees, and put it in a pot like this. So I have the oven preheat 300 degrees, slow and low for 4 hours. So it's 12:10 right now. And minimum you need to have 3 hours. So original chef from the restaurant La Puertas in Buffalo, New York, he used a tin foil, but I decided to use the lid to cover it and put it in the oven 300 degrees for 4 hours. While the pork belly is cooking in the oven, I need to start cooking black bean, because the name is called Lechon con Frijoles. Frijoles means black bean. So in this black bean, you need 1 whole onion chopped. And you also need 1/2 of this big jalapeno and 6 cloves of garlic, and 2 cans of black bean. The bean already have salt water, has salt in it. You need 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper, and you need a full tablespoon of this Mexican oregano. Let's slow cooking the onion first, and I will get the onion chopped and also dice the jalapeno. So the first thing is turn on the stove. Of course, turn on the high heat first, because you need to warm up the olive oil. I use extra virgin olive oil, pretty good one. If you want to taste good, you want a good olive oil. And you need 2 tablespoons wait until the pot and the oil get hot. So the pot is start getting hot, and you need to put the onion inside. This part is you have to start turn the stove down to medium-low heat. It depends on the stove strength. This is a pretty strong stove, so you need to turn it to medium-low and slow cooking the onion. Then the onion will release the flavor. Now remember, the bean has salt in it, but the onion does not. So you need about sprinkle some salt and pepper over the onion, and let the onion slowly cooking. Don't turn it to high heat, just slowly cooking to let it caramelize. While the onion is cooking, I'm gonna use the chopper to cut the jalapeno, and I need to use garlic chopper to chop the garlic. Occasionally, you need to stir the garlic. See the onion slowly caramelize. It's about 20 minutes to cook the onion. So 15 minutes down the road, you can tell the onion is very caramelized, and you also need to caramelize the garlic. The garlic is a lot easy to caramelize because they are a lot smaller, number one. Number two, garlic has had a tendency very easy to burn. But the chef from the Puertas from Buffalo, New York, he said that the burnt garlic and burnt onion, what that means is not necessarily burn. It means that they are caramelized. So the garlic and onion are very caramelized right now, and this is a good time to put the jalapeno to get a little bit of heat in the dish, and to put all the spices, the black pepper and Mexican oregano. I did decided to put 2 tablespoons. Earlier I said 1 tablespoon is 2 tablespoons. By the way, all these will be in the video's description. So it's a good time to also put the black bean inside. I'm going to add a little water, rinse off the can. Make sure you mix the seasoning with the black bean together, mix them well, so the black bean will get all the flavor. I add about a quarter cup of water to just rinse off the can. Good time to mix them, mix the beans and all the seasoning together. Gonna cook for half an hour. The lechon pork belly, it's been in the oven for 3 hours, 300 degrees. Originally, I wanted to bake for 4 hours, but my pork belly was a lot smaller than the chef's pork belly, so I decided to only bake it for 3 hours instead of 4 hours. And right now, I'm going to let it cool. Once this is cool, I need the fat to make the corn dumpling. And the corn dumpling is pretty easy. It's using the corn flour, olive oil, and the bacon, the pork belly fat that come out from this cooking. And once that is done, it should be the whole meal should be done pretty quick. I took out the pork belly, put it in a glass dish, and remove all the bones, because later on I need to cut them into pieces and then pan fire skin side down. So having the bone in there, it will make the cutting more difficult. I need the meat to be congealed, so I'm going to put the whole thing in the refrigerator, let it cool down. to collect the dripping, I clean up a ramekin, and then I pour all the dripping from the pork belly to the ramekin, because I need the dripping to be cool. And I'm gonna put these in the freezer to cool it down. So while the pork is cooling down, and I have some dripping is also solidified, and I decided to use 1 cup of this corn flour from Red Mills, organic corn flour. And the first thing is I'm going to put this dripping, put a pretty big dots of dripping into this corn flour. Meanwhile, I need to pour some olive oil. So I'm gonna pour 1, 2, so give 2 tablespoons and mix them to see how it looks first. Remember, this is a copycat. And I need also put some salt. I would say I put 1 teaspoon of salt, and start adding some water. Smells really good, the corn flour, because the dripping and the olive oil. So put a little bit water. A bit more water. I need a little bit more water to make sure the corn dumpling mix it together. It doesn't seem like it's enough water. So right now the flour, it got enough water, and also had about 1 tablespoon of the dripping from the pork belly and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I can use my hands, put them together and mix them as a corn dumpling. I need to mix them to the point that they will form a dough. And let me see whether I can form a dumpling. So it seems pretty easy from the chef. He make a ball and then put a hole in the middle, and then boil in the water. So here's the first one. So 1 cup of corn flour is able to make 8 dumpling, 8 corn flour dumpling. So if you average, when you serve 4 per dish. This is 2 portions of it. So to finish up the cooking and plating, I have put a hot water on to cook the corn dumpling. Meanwhile, the lechon is cooling it down. So I'm gonna cut a cube, cut another cube, because I cooked 2 portions of it. So when I pan sear them, I pan sear skin side down, and like these and like these. So I'm going to start pan sear them and start plating them. I have decided to use the old pot to continuously, because it had the oil come from the dripping. So once it's hot, I'm gonna put the lechon pork belly in the pot to start pan sear to finish it up. So the oil starts bubbling. I'm gonna put the lechon, skin side down, and pan seared. To prevent all the oil spit everywhere, so I put a lid on to catch all the spitting. The lechon, you can tell the skin is very crispy, and while it's cooking or warming up cooking, and I'm turning to low to warm it up. And here I'm cooking the water to cook a corn dumpling. Start plating the dish. The first thing is I put some these black bean at the bottom. My plate is very hot. And put a piece of lechon on top. And put a couple dumplings on the side. Here's the lechon con frijoles that it's a copycat from the Puertas, Buffalo, New York. It's very easy to make. It's not hard to make at all. I'm going to garnish. Here's the lechon con frijoles. Lechon means the pork belly, and frijoles is the black bean with the corn dumpling. Bon appetit.